One of the most intriguing stories we came across was first told in the new book UFOs in the USSR by Russian author Veniamin Grigorievich Vereshchagin. He recounts the crash of an extraterrestrial craft and subsequent recovery by Soviet officials in the late 60s.
Существует свидетельство тому, что осенью 1968 года
there is evidence to the fact that in the fall of 1968 there were reportedly a lot of UFO sightings in the area of Sverdlovsk, currently known as Ekaterinburg.
27 ноября многие жители поселка Березовский Свердловской области
On November 27, many residents of Berezovsky Sverdlovsk area observed several fireballs moving across the sky.
Вдруг один шар стал падать.
One of the balls began going rapidly down, and after that there was a loud sound of an explosion.
Через несколько дней после этого происшествия
In a few days, a Sverdlovsk paper published an article
в которой говорилось о том, что взрыв, услышанный многими,
which said that the explosion had taken place on a territory of a grain storage unit due to the carelessness of some workers. But the article also mentioned that the residents of this area had witnessed similar lights before that day.
This is a copy of the Sverdlovsk newspaper from November the 29th, 1968. An article on the front page entitled Berezovsky Dreams, or What Was That?, gives the state-sanctioned account of what could have been the actual crash. Translated, the Russian copy reads, 5 glowing balls of light appeared over the horizon and started to move in the direction of the city. 4 of the objects moved in opposite directions while the 5th began to rapidly lose altitude and soon completely disappeared behind the forest terrain. Several seconds after its disappearance, there was a deafening explosion. And in typical Soviet fashion, the paper cites the official statement. The blast had taken place at the grain storage unit number 27. The explosion was caused by one of the employees who had violated a safety code, resulting in a charge of negligence. He was sentenced to restitution of the material losses suffered by the state. What helps make the account in Vereshchagin's book so compelling is the existence of several reels of film which seem to back up the story. While rumors of such film first began circulating some years ago, it was not until Vereshchagin led us to the black market dealer in possession of these materials that we got our first look at what could be remarkable new evidence. If this film indeed corresponds with Vereshchagin's story, what we are looking at is the scene of the crash site in Berezovsky as viewed by a camera on top of a military truck. The focal point of this scene is here, and indeed appears to be a disc embedded in the ground. Here we see soldiers exiting the truck, led by a captain. The troops are met by another officer, this one a major, and then they join other soldiers and officers already on the scene. This footage is one of 4 reels of film acquired during our investigation. Coming up next, this incredible footage subjected to further analysis when we return right after this. The 2 groups that have without question been exchanging information freely are the Russian and Western ufologists. It's with a sense of full cooperation that much of the formerly sensitive information has surfaced. At one end of the spectrum are simple UFO sightings which are often accompanied by film or video footage. At the other end are accounts of actual contact with alien beings for which most bona fide researchers retain a healthy dose of skepticism. Interestingly, many psychiatrists and psychologists have placed considerably more credence in stories of alien abduction then ufologists. Though no such encounters have been officially reported in the former Soviet Union, and in spite of efforts by the government to deny their existence, documented cases do exist. Typically, the abductee reports seeing a blinding white light, usually hovering high above. These abductees have reported under hypnosis that they feel compelled to approach the light, as if they are somehow being drawn towards it. Some have reported seeing doors to the crafts actually opening for them. As with their reaction to the light, they feel compelled to walk through. Most abductees have not been able to describe the interiors of these crafts, other than recalling swirling mist and bright lights. Most reported alien abductions include harrowing accounts of medical experiments. Subjects describe an examination room of some kind. Many have reported strange probe-like tools being used on them, and they recall the frightening sensation of being examined, though simultaneously being unable to do anything about it. Typically, the abductees will then find themselves back where they were when they first saw the light, having no recollection of what just happened. Other times, however, upon checking their watches, they discover that several minutes have passed without their ability to account for it. They literally have lost time. Many abductees have their memories triggered by a mark found on their bodies, the kind they would associate with a needle or some other medical instrument. And not surprisingly, no such report has ever been verified 100%. And yet these stories continue to proliferate. Are these people really being abducted by aliens, or, as some now claim, by members of a secret government agency?
The austere building behind me once housed what was undoubtedly the world's largest and most feared intelligence agency. Why would the KGB be so interested in what many consider to be science fiction?
From the beginning of the communist era, the Soviet leaders relied on a strong secret police to act as watchdog and often executioner for their rule. This was not a new concept to Russia. During the rule of Tsar Nicholas, the secret police was everywhere, its agents spying on everyone. There were agents watching every train station, hotel and theater. Shortly after the Russian Revolution, the first Soviet government approved the creation of their own secret police. It soon became a powerful mainstay of the Soviet system. To ensure the continuation of communist rule, the main domestic role of the secret police became to seek out counter-revolutionary views and ensure that those holding them were dealt with. After the death of Stalin in 1953, the secret police became known as the Committee for State Security, or KGB. As the Cold War heightened under Khrushchev, this was also the era that boasted the growth of the KGB's image as an international spy agency. Foreign espionage was at its height. According to Western authorities, the KGB managed to infiltrate every major Western intelligence service. During the height of its existence, the KGB was the largest secret police and espionage force in the history of the planet, with more than 300,000 agents. Its body consisted of 17 separate units charged with such concerns as counterintelligence, foreign espionage, and internal security. The division known as the Scientific and Technical Directorate was the unit responsible for the acquisition of top-secret technological information and materials, including those not originating on Earth.
The government body that had the most interest in anomalous activity was very possibly the Soviet military. Did high-ranking officers of the Russian armed forces really believe they could gain a military advantage from UFOs?
Though there has been much speculation on the exact nature of the Roswell incident and reports of actual alien beings, conclusive evidence of such encounters has proved